The EURUSD is pulling back aggressively after retesting that October high. However, I'm going to show you an area that could attract buyers over the coming days and weeks. Hi everyone, my name is Justin Bennett with Daily Price Action, and in today's video, we're going to look at the euro. I'm going to show you some key levels I'm watching and also a key confluence area that could attract buyers over the coming sessions. This is one you're going to want to keep an eye on if you are short the euro or if you're interested in buying. So let's get started right now. A quick disclaimer that today's video is for educational purposes only. All views are my opinion and are not intended as investment advice. Forex is a high reward, high risk business, and you should not trade with borrowed money or money you cannot afford to lose. See the description of this video for the full disclaimer. Before we get started with today's video, be sure to hit that subscribe button below and also click the bell icon so you get notified every time I post these videos. So as you can see so far this week, the EURUSD is pulling back after retesting that October high up here around 111.70/80. So notice how Monday's session formed this bearish engulfing candle, which hinted at today's pullback. Despite being a relatively choppy pair, the EURUSD has put in some nice price action lately. So we were looking at this descending channel back here that actually broke out on this candle, and the euro then retested that 109.90 area as support. And since this retest, you can see how the pair has rallied about 200 pips up there into that 111.70/80 area. We've also been looking at this 112 resistance level. So I've gone ahead and created a zone up here, if you will, between these two regions. So I do think that this area is going to attract sellers over the coming days and weeks if we do see the euro return to that 111.70 to 112 area. Now, as for key support, we've been watching this 110.70 level that I mentioned last weekend. So I talked about this last Saturday as well as the Saturday before that. So notice how 110.70 served as support before the euro broke below it, and 110.70 then began attracting sellers. So this 110.70 area is one that the euro has to break. So we have to see a daily close below it in order to see the EURUSD extend even lower. So as long as the pair is above this 110.70 area on a daily closing basis, it is intact as support. But as you can see, this support region is now being tested after this aggressive pullback so far this week. So the EURUSD failed to rally above that October high, and it's also now retesting 110.70 after doing so. So all of this makes me think that we will likely see a close below 110.70 and a pullback even lower this week and perhaps even next. But the big question is this rally just a correction, or is the pair starting to turn higher? So this move right here, as I mentioned, broke out back here, retested. So far, the pair has run up about 200 pips from this breakout area. And so what we need to figure out now is, will the pair pull back and then rally again, putting in a higher high? So in other words, are we going to get a higher low based on this one down here around 109? And this is where we can use channels to our advantage. So if I draw a channel starting with this low back here, it looks obscure, but just stay with me and you'll see what I'm getting at. So if we draw this level based on that swing low, so notice how we have this swing low and these lows through here, then we also have this high as well as this recent high in October. Now, if I then take that lower level and drag it down, keep in mind that these two levels are parallel with each other. All right, so these two levels, so this one right here and this lower one are parallel with one another. And if we do that, we can see how this channel support lines up with these two other horizontal levels down here. So this first one is right around 109.90, which, remember, this was the breakout where the EURUSD retested this area as new support before rallying 200 pips. The other one is 110.20, which I mentioned a couple weekends ago. So notice how this area has served as a pivot of sorts for the EURUSD over the last couple months. So as of right now, I'm using this ascending channel to indicate where the euro needs to hold. So in other words, if the EURUSD is going to carve a higher low. So far, notice how we have a higher high here in October, but we don't yet have a higher low. So I'm using this channel to give me an idea of what area needs to hold in order for us to see the Euro USD push higher. And as of right now, this confluence of support right around 110 is the must hold area that I'm watching. So the Euro USD needs to hold above this channel bottom if we're going to see the pair move higher. Now that's just my opinion, but I do think that based on this channel that we now have here, and also these lows in this breakout area around 109.90 all the way up to 110.20, I do think that just based on this is the region that has to hold for the Euro USD in order for us to see the pair potentially move higher and retest that descending channel top that we've been talking about. So if you're new here, this is something we've been talking about now for a little over a month, and this is a descending channel that dates back to 2018. So notice how the Euro USD has created these swing highs and lows within this channel. Now I talked about it when the pair was down here at 109, and this channel alone is why I thought the pair could bounce from this 109 area. And so far it has, and again, we also have that higher high so far, but what we don't have is a higher low. So this is the swing low down here. Now we're looking to see if the pair can create a higher low and then push higher up into this channel top. Now there's no guarantee that can happen, but this is where we go back to this confluence of support that we just looked at. And again, this is the region around 110, in my opinion, that needs to hold if we are going to see a rotation higher after this pullback and an eventual retest of that channel top. So in the short term, I do think we could see the euro weaken further, but if you are short, I would keep a very close eye on this 110 area. Now, if you're looking to buy, I would wait to see what price action does around this area to make sure that buyers are going to get behind this and push the pair higher once again. The alternative scenario to what I just explained would be a close below this channel bottom. So somewhere around 109.50 or maybe 109.70, if we see a daily close below this area, I do think that would signal weakness, and we could see the Euro USD return to this year-to-date low somewhere just below 109. That said, another reason I'd be careful about getting too bearish the euro has to do with what's happening on the monthly time frame. So I mentioned this a couple of times recently, but if you notice within this descending channel on the monthly time frame, this October low was a few pips below the September low, and the pair also closed above that September high. Okay, so right now this is a bullish engulfing candle, and it also occurs after this extended move lower. So based on this signal alone, I do think that traders need to be careful about getting too bearish the euro, because if this candle is going to influence the single currency, then we could see a temporary move lower like I just talked about, followed by another push up into this channel top and perhaps even higher. But it all comes back to what happens on the daily time frame within this new ascending channel, in my opinion. So a close below 110.70 would expose this must hold support area, and of course that resistance region is right between 111.70 and 112. So this is what I'm keeping an eye on over the coming weeks and months, and also whether or not the pair can stay within this ascending channel, rotate lower, and eventually move higher to retest that channel top. Alternatively, if we see a close below this channel bottom, it would signal weakness, and it could also expose that year-to-date low around 109. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, leave your comment below, and be sure to subscribe to my channel. See you next time.